I love being able to come out here, scout the fields, look around, see what's happening. You learn something every year. My name's Donnie Beggs. I'm a fourth-generation watermelon farmer from Blodgett, Missouri. This year we're celebrating our 125th year of raising watermelons in Scott County, Missouri. That's why I farm for life. You know, watermelons is a specialty crop. There's not near as many of them as even there was 10, 15 years ago. Most of them are located here in southeast Missouri. I would say, not knowing for sure, but I'd say 95% of the watermelons grown in the state of Missouri are grown here in the Boot Heel. There's a lot of other specialty type crops grown in this area. At one time they said we were really the next California because we had the water. We could raise anything that we wanted to here. Talking about one of the biggest changes probably happened in the watermelon industry was the coming of age of the seedless watermelon. You know, when that started going, it slowly took hold, just like any new technology or whatever, and then it took off. We convinced the consumer they wanted a smaller watermelon, and so that's where the seedless really came in, that they didn't want to have to eat around seeds. And so the seedless has become a big deal. The biggest thing I think it is it's a smaller melon. You can get more on a truck. The freight costs less. The average cost per watermelon is less because everything's still kind of sold by the pound, even though we put it all in a count in a bin. But that's really changed the face of watermelons. You know, we've learned a lot about fertility and stuff. So we've learned a lot to make more like everybody likes to do, but it costs more to have some technology. Seeded melon's a lot easier to tell when they're ripe and good versus a seedless. But on a seeded melon, for sure, you always want to look. There's two stripes on a watermelon. There's the light stripe and the dark stripe. As the melon matures and gets more ripe, the light stripe gets lighter in color. The texture of the melon gets a rougher appearance. It goes from that slick, like you polished it with Armor All look, to a rough, dull look. The belly of the melon, or the part that's set on the ground, goes from white to yellow. So if it's really yellow on the bottom, that's a good indication. One of the telltale signs, but unfortunately you don't get to see it from the grocery store, is there's a curl on the watermelon. We in the field can use that. It's accurate 95% of the time, I'd say. And it will tell you when that thing dies, that melon is ready for harvest. If it's still alive, it's not ready. Well, I think a lot of it just goes back to the family tradition. You know, we've been doing this 4 generations. This is our 125th year. You know, I grew up in a watermelon field. When I was little, I mean, my first job, I was 5 years old and I was rolling the culls across the wagons, made $5 that year. I can remember that, you know, probably till the day I die. That was my first pay. But I mean, something about a watermelon, I know other people have different passions, but something about it, I just love it. I love being able to come out here, scout the fields, look around, see what's happening. If there is a problem, try to figure out what's going on. You learn something every year. It's constantly changing, evolving. Something about what I do changes every year. You try to get that little bit better yield or a little bit better quality, or figure out a way to pack them a little bit easier or better. So, you know, even though it's the same thing, you know, you're not reinventing the wheel every year, but you're just trying to make the wheel better. And I think that's what I really like about it.